In one of my videos, I told about the things that I really enjoyed. Today, I thought that it would be fun to talk about the things that I regret buying in one way or another. I hope you will enjoy it, and maybe some purchases that you regret about will come up to your mind and remind you of that experience that you had. The first thing that I regret buying is my phone that didn't arrive. At some point of my life, I needed the phone. My husband offered me to buy this Huawei P12 or P20. So I decided to go for it. The price was, well, something that I kind of could afford, but it was difficult times anyway. So we went to this website where a lot of individuals, like small businesses and even just usual people like you and me, can sell things. No big corporations there. This is a place where I usually buy any technology, and I like buying secondhand, and I never stopped doing that. We found that guy on that website that offered this Huawei P12 that was the dream phone of that time. Probably my husband wanted it even more than me. I respect and trust his suggestions, so we found that guy that offered this thing for smaller price than on average this phone was on the market, and I thought it's gonna be fine. I mean, why couldn't price be less than average on the market? Like, what can go wrong? Advertisement that this man posted led to the website with only best 5-star reviews. We decided to send all the money to him, which was super smart of us, right? And we didn't receive any response, either the next day nor the next several days. And on one hand, it's not a big sum of money, right? Well, everybody could spend $200 on something really useless or on a fraud. But at that point of my life, these $230 were precious because we just got married, we just had expensive wedding, and we went to the honeymoon to the Israel where we spent a lot of money again, and I lost my phone there, so I needed a new phone. So we were broke, let's be honest, and these $230 were just 230 most precious bucks ever. I feel that pain until now. And it was sad because we were played like puppets. Now I'm a lot smarter. I learned from my mistakes, of course, and I don't buy anything expensive like technology unless I have service that secures my purchase, or if I meet a person in person to find out that the thing I'm buying is in well condition and everything is perfect in that purchase. So now I don't act this stupid. The second purchase that I regret about is my wedding. I don't regret getting married. Well, no, I don't, of course. We made a wedding, but it was not like for us. It was mostly for our family and friends and, you know, for church to manifest our marriage. You know, we've been played like puppets one more time, but not by a person this time by social constructs. It was so stupid, in my opinion, to let, you know, a few dozens of not even close people eat at our expense. We thought that we are very social people because we visited church, and you know, when you visit church, everybody kind of becomes your sister and brother, and you feel obligated to invite them to your wedding. I mean, at least it was my experience. A bunch of random people at our wedding didn't make me feel good at that point, and doesn't make me feel good about it now, because we spent almost, I think, about $2,000. I know it's not, well, that much comparing to other countries, but in my city, this is a lot. The only thing I don't regret that I insisted on making a pajama wedding, a pajama party, though elder people from my family didn't like that and were against it and were trying to telling me out of it. How to say that? You got the point, right? The fact that it was a pajama party saved me a lot of money, and I believe saved different people a lot of money, because they just could come to our wedding in their pajamas or bathrobes, and it was fun, to be honest. The pajama thing of my wedding was fun. All the rest was, you know, kind of usual, because again, we were broke and we couldn't afford, you know, super luxurious nice thing at our wedding. If I could change something, we would just go probably to the registry office and sign some documents, you know, to tell the government that we are a married couple now, and that's it. We would probably make a dinner at our home, no restaurants. with the closest ones, and that's probably it. I now don't really like the idea of wedding with inviting a bunch of random people and spending so much money that a lot of young people just simply can't afford. Not a fan, not a fan. Number 3, I regret about buying these boots with heels from internet website or something like that. These were boots with heels and I ordered them, and if you measured the heel, it was kind of fine, like 4 to 5 centimeters. It's not high heel, is not too much of inconvenience for me, I thought. But the incline of these boots were so high that it was simply not possible to walk in them. You could get blisters on your, well, let me show you this thing. They were super uncomfortable, but because I wore them outside, I couldn't give them back, or how to say, return them. This was a pity to spend this about $100 on that, and I think I wouldn't regret it that much unless it was something about beauty standards that I wanted to comply with. There are different stages of my life, and at that point I really wanted to be more feminine, more like fancy, sassy, chic, girlish, feminine style. I assume that this is because of the society that told me to be that way at that point, because I was at the university and I worked a part-time job, so I needed to go to university, to job, to home multiple times a day. Why on earth I would buy winter boots with heels on them? So this was stupid, and I'm pretty sure I did it only because I wanted to meet that standard. I wanted to be that feminine girl that everybody around likes. And the thing that I learned from it is that buying shoes with heels without trying them on is very risky. Number 4, if we measure all these purchases in terms of usefulness from 1 to 10, this purchase would be a solid 3. It was a course. It was a graphic design course. I do now know how to work with Adobe Illustrator, Adobe Photoshop, but until now, it didn't pay off the investment. I tried to freelance as a designer, I tried to work full-time as a designer, but was fired a few weeks later. I tried to send cold emails, but probably my professionalism was not enough to finally become a graphic designer and be able to earn myself for a living with this work, so I had to switch it back to customer support. Yeah, a sad story. Anyway, we all sometimes fail, and it's okay to fail, and I don't want to become a graphic designer anymore. So this $560 kind of was spent in vain. I think these are useful skills. It's just I didn't apply it anywhere yet. The 5th thing that I regret about is spending money on the renovation that I didn't know how to do. One day in our past, we decided that we are qualified enough to make the full renovation of our room. We decided that it's important that we are not masters, we don't even know how to do that. We ended up spending $200 on something that doesn't look much better than before, mostly because our walls are very curvy, and while doing the renovation we didn't actually count that fact, and now we have a lot of parts of our walls like deliberately poking out of the walls, you know, that it doesn't look good. And if we were professionals, we would probably choose some cover, you know, some paint or some wallpaper that would, you know, cover these flaws of our walls. But no, we didn't know what to choose, so we just bought wallpapers that showed perfectly every curve on our wallpaper. Moreover, we were not qualified enough to choose the wallpaper we need, so we bought the ones that are super not vandal proof. So it already has a lot of scratches from our cats, a lot of spots and stains from anything that could touch that wall, because this wallpaper is the worst that happened to us. And if we could just consult a professional, this all could be avoided, I'm pretty sure, but we were thinking that we knew everything. That's a good business idea, to be just a renovation master that consults people who want to do renovations on their own, to correct their mistakes, to give advice, to choose material to buy. I think this is a nice business idea. We would need this like desperately because we couldn't afford the full team who would do this for us. So we decided to do this ourselves, and it did work out well. So number 6 is we once bought the trip to Europe right before the pandemic started. Like 2 days before all the flights were cancelled. I paid all the money for our accommodation and for our plane tickets, of course, we paid in advance. So yeah, we lost this all. $250 because some people decided that they can choose better whether we can fly or not. Okay, that's a sad story. I don't blame myself for that now, at least, because it's fine sometimes to make mistakes, to make big purchases that absolutely were not worth it. Even though I'm a minimalist, I still spend hundreds of bucks on something absolutely useless for my life, and it's okay if you do that too sometimes, so it's fine. Don't blame yourself, just stand up and move on. Thank God our last trip was successful and no train rides were cancelled, and I even filmed how I packed for that travel, so I really recommend you to watch this video about pack with me minimally. I hope you will enjoy it as well, and please hit the like button if you enjoyed this video. This is my Patreon if you want to join the community, and have a good day. Goodbye.